Imagine a city born from an impossible dream, a metropolis of 5.4 million people built on a swamp, where gilded palaces seem to float on water and the sun refuses to set for 2 months straight. This is St. Petersburg, the Venice of the North, the imperial heart of Russia. For countless travelers, it's a breathtaking fantasy, a step into a Tolstoy novel. But what happens when the vacation ends and real life begins? Does the Instagram perfect image of canals and cathedrals truly reflect the day-to-day reality of making this your home? Today, we are pulling back the heavy velvet curtain on the romantic mystique to reveal the complex, challenging, and profoundly transformative truth of living in Russia's cultural capital. By the end of this journey, you'll know if you have what it takes to trade your comfortable life for an adventure on the Neva River. So, stay with me as we uncover the soul of this enigmatic city. To understand St. Petersburg, you must first grasp its insane origin story. Let's start with a fact that reframes everything. This city has a larger population than the entire countries of Ireland or New Zealand. It's a sprawling megalopolis built across more than 40 islands, stitched together by a web of over 800 bridges. It is, quite literally, a giant, frozen version of Venice. But the most mind-blowing part, it was never supposed to be here. Picture the scene in the early 1700s. This land was nothing but a desolate, marshy, uninhabitable swamp at the mouth of the Neva River, a place of mud, mosquitoes, and wolves. Yet, in 1703, Tsar Peter the Great, a man of titanic ambition and brutal will, pointed to this spot and demanded his window to Europe. He ordered his engineers to do the impossible, drain the delta and build a grand European capital from nothing. The human cost was immense. Tens of thousands of serfs and laborers perished in the harsh conditions, building this dream on a foundation of bones. The consequence of that ambition is a daily reality for its residents today. This is a city in a constant, silent war with its own geography. Flooding is a perennial threat, managed now by a massive dam in the Gulf of Finland, but the memory of devastating floods haunts the city's history. The unstable, marshy ground means that continuous foundation maintenance is a fact of life. It's no exaggeration that many of the magnificent historic buildings you admire are sinking, just a little bit every single year. Engineers at St. Isaac's Cathedral, for example, are in a perpetual struggle to stabilize its massive weight on the soft soil. This isn't just a city with a unique history, it's a living monument to defiance built against nature itself. And living here means learning to respect that beautiful, chaotic tension every day. Here's something that catches most foreigners completely off guard, a phenomenon I call cultural overload. We're not just talking about a city with a few good museums. St. Petersburg is home to over 200 museums, 80 theaters, and 4,000 protected historical monuments. To put that into perspective, Paris has around 130 museums, London about 240. This is a cultural concentration that is almost overwhelming. The State Hermitage Museum, with its 3 million works of art, is just the tip of the iceberg. It's said that if you spent just 1 minute looking at each item, you'd be there for over 11 years. Then there's the Mariinsky Theater, where Tchaikovsky and Mussorgsky premiered their masterpieces, which remains a global epicenter for opera and ballet. But it's not just about these grand institutions. It's the smaller, avant-garde playhouses and basement theaters, the literary cafes where Pushkin and Dostoevsky once argued, the underground rock clubs that fostered a legendary music scene. On any given weekend, you can choose from dozens of exhibitions, concerts, and classical recitals, many completely free. But this cultural wealth creates an unspoken social code. Social life often revolves around intellectual and artistic activities in a way that can feel intimidating. The social pressure to be culturally informed is real. You can't just small talk about the weather or the latest Netflix show. Picture this: you're at a dinner party, and someone turns to you and asks, "So, you saw the new adaptation at the Tovstanogov Theater. Did you feel the director truly captured the essence of Chekhov's subtext, or was it just a modern affectation?" It's a genuine question. Conversations here dive deep into art, literature, philosophy, and politics. This doesn't mean everyone is a walking encyclopedia. Of course, you'll find sports bars packed with roaring Zenit football fans. You'll find nightclubs and people who just want to chill. But the cultural undercurrent is always there. It's a city that values depth over superficiality, and that extends from its art to its friendships. Now, let's talk about something that hits everyone's wallet: money. Many people come to Russia with the assumption that it's cheap, but living a Western-style life in St. Petersburg is a different story. It's a city of strange economic paradoxes. A coffee in the historic center will set you back 3 to 5. A decent restaurant meal can range from a 15 to 30, and an apartment near the glamorous Nevsky Prospect can easily compete with prices in many Central European cities. The average salary for a qualified professional hovers around 800 to 200 per month. This might seem alarmingly low, but it's balanced by significantly cheaper basic services. A ride on the magnificent metro costs less than $1. Public utilities are affordable. But to truly understand the cost of living, you have to grasp the city's two-tiered economy. Let's build a sample monthly budget. Rent for a modern one-bedroom apartment outside the historic Golden Triangle might run you $500–700. Your unlimited monthly Metro Pass is a steal at around $40. Groceries, if you shop at local markets and stick to Russian products, think potatoes, cabbage, buckwheat greka, chicken, and delicious dairy products like tvorog and kefir, could be as low as $250 a month. But then you get a craving for something from home. That block of good Italian Parmesan cheese. That'll be $15. Your favorite shampoo brand, a Walva bottle, a new pair of Adidas sneakers. Get ready to pay a 50% markup. This is the daily financial calculus. Anything produced locally is affordable, but anything imported is a luxury. And in today's geopolitical climate, this has become more complex. Major credit card providers like Visa and MasterCard issued outside of Russia no longer work. This means simple tasks require new strategies. You'll need to open an account with a local bank to get a MIR card for domestic payments. For international transactions, expats rely on a patchwork of solutions, from Union Pay cards to cryptocurrency. It's a manageable but constant financial hurdle. We cannot discuss St. Petersburg without addressing the massive, looming, all-encompassing reality of winter. And let me be clear, it's not just a bit chilly. It's a complete sensory experience that dominates life from late October through April. During the harshest months, you might get barely 6 hours of weak, watery, horizontal sunlight. Temperatures regularly drop below 4 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius, and the damp, humid wind blowing in from the Gulf of Finland cuts straight through to your bones in a way dry cold never does. You feel it in your joints. The sun sets at 3:30 p.m. in December and doesn't rise until 10:00 a.m. You leave for work in darkness, you come home in darkness. The world becomes a monochrome palette of white, gray, and black. You can hear the unique, high-pitched crunch of snow under your boots when it's truly cold. You feel your nose hairs freeze the moment you step outside. Seasonal affective disorder isn't a buzzword here, it's a widespread medical reality. But here's the fascinating part. Russians haven't just survived the winter, they've perfected it. They've created an entire culture around it. The banya, the Russian sauna, is a weekly ritual. It's not just about getting clean, it's a social event of intense heat. Being gently beaten with birch branches is venica to improve circulation, and then plunging into an icy pool or rolling in the snow. It's a shock to the system that leaves you feeling reborn. Every park becomes a skating rink. People go cross-country skiing through the forests on the city's outskirts. The darkness pushes people indoors, fostering a culture of hospitality. It's the season for gathering in warm, cozy apartments for hours-long conversations fueled by endless cups of tea and, yes, some vodka. You don't just endure the winter. You learn its rhythms and embrace its unique, stark beauty. Let's tackle the most persistent stereotype, the cold, distant, unsmiling Russian. I have to completely contradict Hollywood here. That initial reserved, seemingly stern exterior is real, but it's a firewall, not a wall. Once you are granted access, St. Petersburg residents can be some of the warmest, most generous, and fiercely loyal friends you will ever make. Russian culture deeply values authentic relationships over superficial pleasantries. Don't expect an automatic customer service smile from a stranger. A smile is an earned gift, an expression of genuine affection. It is not given lightly. But when a Russian invites you to their home, to their dacha for a weekend of shashlik barbecue, or to their small apartment for a New Year's feast, they are offering you a piece of their world, a genuine friendship that can last a lifetime. These gatherings are where you truly understand the culture. A dinner party can stretch for 8 hours, filled with endless food, dozens of elaborate toasts, and conversations that touch upon the concept of dusha or soul. People will talk with startling honesty about philosophy, politics, their heartbreaks, their dreams. There's a directness that can be jarring to a Westerner. Someone might ask you a deeply personal question or give you an unsolicited but well-intentioned piece of advice. This isn't rudeness, it's a sign that they see you as a real person, not someone to perform politeness for. Breaking through that initial ice takes time, effort, and most importantly, the Russian language. Here we reach one of the most daunting aspects of living in St. Petersburg, the Russian language. Let's be clear, it's a mountain. It's not just learning new words. It's mastering a completely different alphabet, the Cyrillic script, which makes you feel functionally illiterate for the first few weeks as you try to decipher street signs. It's grappling with a grammar system with 6 different cases. To put it simply, imagine if in English the word house changed its ending depending on whether you were going to the house, coming from the house, were inside the house, or talking about the house. That's cases, and it applies to nouns, adjectives, and pronouns. It's a system that rewires your brain. On top of this, you have the legendary bureaucracy. Getting a residence permit, Opening a bank account or registering your address can feel like a quest from a tragicomic novel. It often involves multiple visits to different drab offices, interacting with stern-faced officials behind glass windows, collecting a mountain of documents, and needing the all-important stamp, the pechet, to make anything official. But here's the surprising twist of modernity. Once you start to navigate this system, you discover that Russia has digitized many government services to a remarkable degree. The Gosuslugi portal is an impressively efficient website and app where you can pay fines, make doctor's appointments, and handle official paperwork online. It's a strange and uniquely Russian paradox, a system that can be both maddeningly archaic and impressively futuristic, often at the same time. What about the practicalities that guidebooks don't mention? Let's start with safety. Like any major city, St. Petersburg has its issues. You need to be aware of pickpockets in crowded tourist areas like Nevsky Prospect. But in terms of personal safety, it's generally considered quite safe, even for solo women. The metro is heavily policed and feels secure at all hours, and you'll often see people walking home late at night without issue. Then there's healthcare. The system is split. There's the free public system, which can involve long waits and older facilities, but it's available. As a foreigner, you'll almost certainly be using the private system. You'll need a good international health insurance policy, often called a VHI. This gives you access to a network of modern, efficient private clinics with English-speaking doctors and coordinators. Booking an appointment through an app, seeing a specialist, or getting dental work done is surprisingly straightforward and much more affordable than in the US. And what if you move with family? For children, there are several high-quality international schools teaching in English, but they come with very high tuition fees. The alternative is the Russian public school system, which is academically rigorous, especially in math and sciences. It would be a total immersion for your children, a huge challenge, but one that would leave them bilingual and bicultural. Finally, the expat community. It's smaller now than it was a few years ago, but it's a resilient and close-knit group. People connect through social media groups and at a handful of international bars and cultural centers. It's a community built on shared experience, where people are quick to offer advice on everything from visa runs to where to find the best Georgian food. For years, St. Petersburg was confidently positioning itself as Russia's answer to Silicon Valley. The city produces more computer science graduates per capita than most European cities. It was home to Russian tech giants like VKontakte and Yandex, and the globally respected software company JetBrains. For a foreign IT professional, the city offered competitive salaries and a chance to work on world-class projects. However, the current geopolitical landscape has profoundly altered this reality. International sanctions have made it difficult for tech companies to operate on the global stage. Many Western tech firms have either closed or significantly downsized their Russian operations. This has not only limited international career opportunities, but has also led to a brain drain of local tech talent. The job market for foreigners today is more challenging and more focused. The easy expat package in a multinational corporation is much rarer. The greatest demand is now in very specific sectors, highly skilled engineers willing to work for Russian companies focused on the domestic market and, as always, foreign language teachers. While many tech companies used to operate in English to truly advance professionally and access leadership positions today, advanced Russian is a non-negotiable prerequisite. The professional dream has shifted. It's no longer an international crossroads, but a deeper dive into the Russian domestic market. One of St. Petersburg's most impressive and redeeming features is its public transportation. The metro, opened in 1955, is one of the deepest in the world, a necessity because of the city's difficult geology, but its depth is secondary to its beauty. It's often called the Palace of the People, and for good reason. Stations like Avtovo with its glass-adorned columns or Kirovsky Zavod with its industrial-themed reliefs are breathtaking works of art. The integrated system of metro, buses, and trams is incredibly efficient and can take you virtually anywhere for less than $1. But there's a less glamorous side. During the morning and evening rush, the metro can be so crowded that you are literally swept into the cars by the force of the crowd. The transition from a sweltering, packed car to the freezing cold outside can be a brutal shock to the system. And the escalators, which plunge deep into the earth at a steep angle, run so fast they can give you a genuine case of vertigo as you descend into the depths. On the surface, traffic can be chaotic, but the prevalence of ride-sharing apps like Yandex.Go has made getting a taxi quick, cheap, and reliable. Contrary to the bland stereotypes, St. Petersburg's gastronomic scene has evolved dramatically and is a delicious adventure. The city boasts everything from refined restaurants serving modern interpretations of classic Russian cuisine to cozy canteens dishing out hearty, affordable meals. You can have delicate pelmenis dumplings served in broth, rich and creamy beef stroganoff, or paper-thin blini with sour cream and salmon. But the real secret is to look beyond Russian food. The city is filled with incredible Georgian, Uzbek, and Armenian restaurants. Here you'll discover the joys of khachapuri, a sinful bread boat filled with melted cheese and egg plov, a savory rice pilaf with meat and carrots, and perfectly grilled shashlik. Tea culture is arguably more important than vodka culture. And a unique part of the lifestyle is the dacha, the country house. Summer weekends are often an exodus from the city to these small cottages for days filled with gardening, elaborate barbecues, and preserving mushrooms and berries for the winter. However, for palates accustomed to spicy or heavily seasoned food, it can be an adjustment. Flavors tend to be subtle and earthy. And while supermarkets have improved, finding specific international ingredients like fresh cilantro, hot peppers, or ripe avocados can still be an expensive and sometimes frustrating treasure hunt. Between late May and mid-July, St. Petersburg experiences one of the planet's most spectacular natural phenomena, the white nights. For almost 2 months, the sun never fully sets, dipping just below the horizon and casting an eternal, ethereal twilight that transforms the city into something from a dream. During this period, the city's energy is electric, a collective release after the long, dark winter. The streets are alive 24/7. The river embankments are packed with thousands of people at 2 a.m., watching the magnificent spectacle of the massive drawbridges opening to let ships pass, all under a sky that glows with the colors of a perpetual sunset. Parks are filled with families having midnight picnics. It's a magical, life-affirming celebration of light. But this magic has a less romantic side. Many foreigners experience severe insomnia. Your body's internal clock is completely thrown off by sunlight streaming through your window at 3 a.m. Blackout curtains are not a luxury, they are an essential survival tool. This is also the absolute peak of the tourist season. Prices for everything skyrocket, and the city's magical streets become clogged with overwhelming crowds, making it hard to enjoy the very beauty everyone has come to see. So, is St. Petersburg the imperial dream we imagine or a beautiful frozen reality? The truth is, it's both. It's a city of profound and often brutal contrasts. It offers a cultural richness that can nourish your soul for a lifetime, a palpable history on every corner, and the chance to form some of the deepest, most authentic friendships of your life. But it also demands a resilience you may not know you have. Resilience against the cold, the darkness, the maddening bureaucracy, and the moments of cultural isolation. Living in St. Petersburg changes you fundamentally. It teaches you to appreciate the light, both literal and metaphorical, to value authentic connection over superficiality, and to find a strange, powerful beauty in adversity. What surprised you the most about the reality of life in St. Petersburg? Share your thoughts or your own questions in the comments below. If this story opened up a new perspective for you, please share this video with a friend who also loves to look deeper than the postcard image of a destination. And be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most fascinating and misunderstood places. Thank you for joining me on this journey. See you in the next one.